Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 688, and today's topic of lecture is the pharmaceutical importance of guar gum. Guar word is Indian, and if we translate in English it is called cluster bean, and this cluster bean guar is cultivated in the area where there is desertification or less water rain. It can sustain a drought, and also we can cultivate it where there is less amount of water. And guar was introduced in America, that was in 1903, in two states by Indians, and these two states are Texas and Oklahoma. And guar gum is widely used in pharmaceutical industries as a binding agent, as a stabilizing agent, and especially when we are manufacturing the tablets and capsule, it is used as a binding agent and stabilizing agent. It is also widely used to treat the peptic ulcer, since it is gum, and I have already told you all these gums are laxative, means they are very much effective in constipation. So this guar gum is also very much in use to treat constipation. And this guar gum nowadays in India is available in powder form and tablet form. The powder form, they are mainly used in kitchen, and the ladies, they are using it as a thickening agent. Of course, in the pharmaceutical industry, also in many other places, paper industry and some other beverages, they are also using it for different purposes like emulsifying agent or thickening agent. But especially in kitchen, we are using when we are preparing gravy or stew to make it more thicker. So we will add some amount of guar gum in the food. And also this guar gum tablet is used to treat hypoglycemia in a natural form. The reason is that this gum in intestine and gut will bind with sugar and carbohydrate. Once it is in the process of breaking down, it will form the transition, and there will be uniform release of sugar with time duration. So it will control the fluctuation of hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia condition. So that's why it is widely used for that purpose. And once guar gum is subjected to complete hydrolysis, it is found that there are two monosaccharides. One is mannose, and mannose is 65% in guar gum, and the other one is galactose. Galactose is 35%. So these two sugars are there in guar gum, that is cluster bean gum, that is mannose and galactose. Also it contains some little amount of fatty acid and some esters. This guar gum is also used for treating the gastric problem. If someone is having gastrointestinal problem, in the tablet form it is given. So it is also effective in gastric problem. Actually, all gums, what I have told you, they used to form colloidal solution, hydrocolloidal solution in the water, and in the same way, this guar gum also is having two type of fiber. One is water soluble and other one is water insoluble. So that's why it can form very good gel. It can swell water, and that's why it is very effective. And nowadays, the biggest supplier of cluster bean gum or guar gum are Americans, Indians, Pakistanis, and some other Asian countries. So here, the pharmaceutical importance of guar gum, and in English it is called cluster bean gum. The botanical name is Cymopsis tetragonobus, and it belongs to family Leguminaceae. Number one, guar gum or cluster bean gum is obtained from the endosperm of seeds of guar or cluster bean. It is drought tolerant annual legume, and that was introduced in USA in the year 1903 by Indians. It is mainly produced in Texas and Oklahoma states in USA, but in world the major suppliers are Americans and Indians for the production. It is cultivated for the production of gum. Number two, guar gum is mainly used in pharmaceutical industries. I mean, most of the gum is, can say 90% used in pharmaceutical industries as a thickening agent, binding agent, disintegrating agent for tablets. It is also largely used in food processing industries and paper industries. Actually, in food processing industries, I have already told you that ladies, they are using the powder, guar gum powder, to make the gravy thick, and also some other preparations. It is used as a thickener, and it is largely used in food processing industries and paper industries. It is used as a appetite suppressant. I mean, if you want to suppress the appetite, you take some 1 teaspoon of guar gum, and it will make the jelly and binding of all those things in the intestine and guts, and you will not feel hungry for a long time. So, and also it is used as a bulk laxative to treat peptic ulcer. When people are suffering from peptic ulcer or chronic hyperacidity, guar gum helps a lot. Once you take in the morning and evening 2 teaspoon powder in powder form, or you can put in milk or tea and take it, it will drastically help and reduce the ulceration and hyperacidity. And number 3, guar gum, that is cluster bean gum, on complete hydrolysis, it gives 2 sugars, and they are mannose and galactose. These are monosaccharides, and mannose is 65%, galactose is 35%. And guar gum also contains fatty acids and esters. Number 4, guar gum has recently been considered as a possible oral hyperglycemic drug. And what they are giving the report that it is a very good binder. So in our gut and intestine, it will bind with carbohydrate, oligosaccharides, other sugars, and the release of sugar will be controlled. It's not that, actually it is working very good, because most of these diabetic patients, they have the problem of both conditions, hyper and hypo. I mean the higher sugar level and lower down. So always there is fluctuation in hypo and hyper condition. So once guar gum tablet is given, it is going to bind the sugar release, and sugar release is uniform and not, in jumping from that at a time large quantity of glucose is released. No, it will release slowly. That is the important role of the guar gum, and it is said that it produces changes in gastric emptying, and also it produces very good impact on our gut and intestine, and it will empty. It will release all the gases, or it will absorb the gases. So it will, our intestine or gut will be free of gas, and in gastrointestinal transition time, and this can delay the absorption of sugars and oligosaccharides, and it will make the transition binding in gut and intestine. That's why it will delay the release of the sugar, and those sugars may be in the form of monosaccharide, that is glucose, or oligosaccharides from the gut. Guar gum also lowers cholesterol level by binding bile salt. Bile means it is cholesterol, so it can bind the bile salt, and one bile salt is a very good binding agent. So it can bind the cholesterol, bile salt, and by binding them drastically, there will be reduction in cholesterol level in the blood and bile salts in the guts. So here number 5 is that is guar gum is also used as a laxative in treating diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, that is called IBS, obesity, and it is used as natural remedy to treat constipation. It has lot of medicinal and pharmaceutical uses in America, India, and some many European countries in the form of powder or in the form of tablets to control obesity. And also because once you take this guar gum in tablet form or powder form, I have already told you that it will bind with gut and other intestine carbohydrate or food, and it will retain for longer time. So it has very good binding, holding capacity and properties, and that's why it is very good as a food supplement to feel full for longer time. Syndrome, IBS and obesity, it is used as natural remedy to treat constipation because all the gums, they are laxative, purgative, and that's why they are very good to treat the constipation. It is also used as a nutrient dense food. This is very important. It is very good nutrient and it is considered as a dense food. Dense food means once this powder is mixed with any other food material, it will create very dense food medium, and that dense food medium will be retained in our guts and intestine for longer time as a binding agent, and it has lot of binding property. I have already told you that it used to bind, very good binding agent to bind the bile salts, and once bile salts are binded, the cholesterol level is reduced because bile is nothing but cholesterol. So once it is binded with this guar gum, cholesterol is now released, and also it is helping to lower down LDL, that is low density lipoprotein, means bad cholesterol, because a good binder of cholesterol. And fiber, and the soluble fiber of gum may lower your LDL, bad cholesterol. I have already told you that there are two types of fibers in all gums. One is water soluble, one is water insoluble. That's why it can form colloidal jelly-like solution. And the soluble fiber portion is very effective, guar gum, to lower down the bad cholesterol, that is LDL. Number 6. Today you can find guar gum as a powder in baking or in the form of tablets as a supplement. So nowadays in the form of powder or in the form of tablets, the people who are baking lot of food material, they are using, it is widely used as a thickening agent, as a dense medium, as a binding agent. Baking or in the form of tablets as a supplement. Guar gum powder is also used to thicken and hold together gravies. In India it is very common, the ladies they are using in cooking the gravies to add some quantity so that the gravy will be dense and thick. That guar gum powder is also used in the thickening and hold together gravies. Sauces, in also sauces nowadays it is used, tomato sauce, tomato ketchup, guar gum is used, and it is called filling material or binding agent, or we can say it is providing dense medium, or it will make thick. That is the role of guar gum. And medicinally it is very important because it contains mannose and galactose 65 and 35%. Sauces, and in dairy products also. Dairy means there are a lot of milk products like cheese, curds, so many other fermented products. So everywhere they are using it, and sometimes some people who are not honest, they will add some water in the milk and they will add some 1-2 spoon powder of guar gum, and so that it will be looking like a original milk because it is thick. So, but that is not always done by the people, but they are also using for different type of notorious work also. But here mainly it is pharmaceutical uses. And also these lectures are mainly on gum and mucilages chapter, and I have discussed lot of natural resources of gum and mucilages, and they are all very important from medicinal and pharmaceutical point of view. So these lectures are very good, very informative scientifically to all pharmacy students, biochemistry students and chemistry students. So it is my advice that if they get time, if they can spare some time to watch on YouTube all these lectures, they can get lot of knowledge and information about mucilage and gum. So with this I will stop, and my advice, I doubt whether guar gum tablet or powders are available here in Nigeria, but in stores maybe. But if in case it is not available, you can get them from China, India and America, and you can use, because this is purely plant product, natural product, and those who are having tendency of constipation or gastric problem or hyperacidity or peptic ulcer, you take it and it will help a lot. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.